Alright guys, as requested, I'm going to review a video by the Pioneer. You can and should train every day.
Conventional wisdom tells us that we shouldn't train every single day. Conventional wisdom...
How I really do not miss England when I see this. The empty streets, the architecture, ugh, and the grey sky, of course.
tells us that it'll lead to burnout, to overtraining, to injury. Well, I've got just one thing to say to that. Screw conventional wisdom.
Okay.
Just to be clear, I'm all for proper recovery. In fact, I recommend taking a deload week, at least...
Yeah, of course, he's waiting for the bus and jumps for no reason. People aren't gonna think that you're crazy at all, no.
Once every 6 weeks. But that doesn't mean you can't train at all, it just means you're going to back off a little bit. I think this really comes down to how we define training and what our goals are. But I think for the average person, actively discouraging any sort of movement is a bad call. And yeah, you shouldn't attempt your 1 rep max on the squat or the bench press every single day. That's like asking someone to run a marathon multiple times a week. A 1 rep maximum is max effort by definition, and this is something that will severely tax the nervous system. So yes, you'll need some time to recover.
Okay, he does understand that, but then he still says that you should train every day. Okay, we'll see what he says.
Well, training can be anything. It can be walking, it can be light jogging, it can be play, it can be working on skills. Training can be 5 minutes of bouncing a tennis ball against a wall. Great for hand-eye coordination, great for cardio. It can be a bit of shadow boxing to practice your punching technique. Or it could be a walk around the block. Doing any of these things will get blood flowing around your body.
Okay, yes. If, for example, you work in a warehouse and the crates are really heavy and you actually need to go to the gym to train and to get used to this stress in everyday life so that you can be fine with lifting the crates and whatever work you gotta do, then I could say yes, for the work, because that's the only way that you can earn a living, it may be okay to go to the gym. Of course, it's still unhealthy for you, but I could understand if in this slave system it could be needed, but I don't see any point in any of the other stuff that he did so far.
Burn calories and provide your nervous system with the important...
Burn calories, that doesn't make any sense because you burn calories simply because you're doing something, whatever it is. The more stressful the exercise, the more calories you're going to burn, but that's not something that you should aim for, obviously. I don't know if that's what he's saying, because a lot of people who work out say that, but the more food you eat, the faster you're going to age. So what you want to do is work out and do as little stressful exercise as possible and eat as little food as possible and the most nutritious food possible so that you don't have to eat as often as somebody who works out does.
Stimulus, it needs to move better and more safely. And doing any of these things will get blood flowing around the body, it'll burn calories, it'll wake up your muscles.
What does any of that mean? You're simply describing stress for the body. He doesn't give any reasoning. He doesn't say it's good for this or that or anything at all. He simply says your body is going to be stressed. People don't understand that that's what he's saying. When he says blood flow, it means stress, but people think, oh, blood flow, that sounds good, to a slave who doesn't understand what he's talking about.
In fact, gentle walking or jogging or skipping can actually encourage and enhance recovery by getting more blood supply to the muscles. This is another good reason to train in multiple disciplines, because it means you have more options to choose from and more different types of training that you can bounce between. And it also begs the question, how frequently should you be training with max effort in the first place? Wouldn't it be better to train a little bit more frequently, but a little less intensively? Wouldn't that just be more natural? Now I know there's lots of studies on this.
There's nothing natural about what you're doing at all. Nothing that you did here would ever be done in nature anyway. You're a slave who has been brainwashed to work out and to kill himself slowly, because that's what working out is about nowadays. All of the bodybuilders die in their 50s, 60s. Marathon runners, they're very lucky if they get to 50. Pretty much all of them die because of cardiovascular disease, especially the ones doing cardio.
Lots of conflicting research as to whether intensity or volume leads to greater hypertrophy and strength gains. But I'm not talking about hypertrophy this time.
One thing I notice, and I think you do too, are all of the wrinkles and how old he looks. And I looked up how old he is before I started the video, and I'm almost his age. And you can judge it, but I pretty much have none of the wrinkles that he does. And this is because of working out. You may say, oh, it's genes or something else. Maybe it's food. Yes, it is food for a large part, of course, but You could drink all the blood and eat all of the raw meat that you want. If you're gonna work out every day or do something stressful every day and never rest, then you're gonna look more or less like him. This is inevitable because humans are supposed to rest and live a sedentary lifestyle most of their life. If you look at all of the people who lived to 100 plus years, and I mean all of them, they lived a sedentary lifestyle. And I've researched this topic very deeply.
I'm not talking about strength gains for a specific lift. See, this is why I think a lot of YouTube fitness can actually miss the mark slightly, because these aren't the only yardsticks, the only metrics by which to measure the success of a training program. For the average person who's more interested in just general fitness and general health, maybe reducing their injuries, maybe performing a little bit better, training more frequently has a lot of advantages. And the perfect example of this, of course, is the legendary farmer strength. We could equally call this labourer strength, or even dad strength, or mum strength. Someone who wants a physical...
Yes, and you could argue that if you have to do a lot of labor work, then maybe it could be useful, as I said, but he probably doesn't even do that. Why does he do that? Maybe he's one of the red pillars who are really the blue pillars, who believe that working out and gaining muscle is somehow going to attract a woman, even though, of course, they only look at your genes, and that's the only thing that a woman detects. She doesn't care about muscles whatsoever. I've explained this already in past videos. She looks at your face in first place and then your bone structure, because that's what actually defines strength, and of course how tall you are. But again, I could understand if somebody got brainwashed to believe that. I don't even believe that we're going to get any reasoning or explanation as to why he works out.
Job moving furniture, digging holes, laying bricks, wrestling pigs. Again, I'm not really sure what farmers actually do for a living. Well, they're going to do that every day, or at least 5 days a week. And guess what? Most of them are in great shape, they're really strong, and they don't keel over dead. At least not typically.
His face reminds me of a dog. He has kind of a dog face. It's interesting.
Of course, they also don't look like pro bodybuilders, and they don't have amazing numbers on the bench press. So the difference is that they aren't isolating specific muscle groups. They aren't actively seeking out the recognized stimuli that create muscle growth. Every rep is slightly different, so they're training more broadly. And because the weight isn't so heavy, there's lower stakes.
What are you doing this for? What is the actual purpose? I would really like him to answer that.
To getting it wrong. But here's the thing, they also probably don't put their back out every few months. They generally have incredible grip strength, and they don't tire out. And by the same token, if you ask a powerlifter or a bodybuilder to try and dig a massive hole 10 days in a row, the person who is used to regular physical labour will do a better job. A much better job. See, they're training the things...
Yes, exactly. You can adapt to a stressful lifestyle for work, for example. Sure, but why exactly are you doing all of this? And why are you telling your audience to work out every day? What if they don't want to? What if they don't want to die in their 50s, 60s? What if they want to live to 90, 100, 110, whatever, or beyond that? What if they already have everything they need in life? They have a family, they are happy. Why would they work out every day? Again, I would just like to hear a reason.
But they have stronger, thicker tendons. Remember, tendons have a lesser blood supply as compared with muscle, and they take much longer to grow. Greater work capacity, extremely robust movement patterns that actually translate to better work. They've greased the groove over countless repetitions of those movements with slight variations just to ensure that they are also prepared for whatever life might throw at them. Keep this in mind with your own fitness journey.
Cool.
Don't just look at numbers and metrics, as they only tell a tiny piece of the story. Think about how much energy you have in the mornings and at the end of the day. Think about how confident you feel. Think about how much easier certain tasks might have been. How you bound up the stairs, how you unconsciously used perfect form when lifting that bag off the floor. Think about how this will translate to your performance and fitness 10, 20, 50 years from now. We all know those wiry old guys that are still way more practical and physical than we are when it comes to actual graft. They got here over decades of toughening, thus their gains are more resilient too. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't just train for numbers, train for specific tasks, skills and jobs, and train of course for the sheer fun of it. Now I'm not saying you can't train max effort, because there are plenty of people who have these physically...
Alright, what he's saying is that you can train for the fun of it. If you find it fun, okay. I don't feel like people who go to the gym really have fun there. And I've never seen somebody who looks like they are enjoying running. They always look so miserable. When I look at the faces of the people running around in the park in circles, they look like they're dying, because why would you run in nature? You would maybe run after an animal, not so likely. Most likely you would be running from an animal. And that's exactly how they look like. And that's stressful. You shouldn't be doing that. It's as if you're running away to save your life. And the other reason is that if you're going to be older, then you're still going to be tough and strong. But for what? If someone is going to work out pretty much every day, they're really not going to reach a very old age anyway. What will be the purpose of working out all of your life?
Demanding jobs who still lift huge numbers in the gym. We can certainly combine being more active with a strict lifting regime, as long as we ramp up the volume and intensity slowly.
Okay, so you go to the gym, there's an old guy who lifts a lot of weights, and then the young guys think, oh wow, I want to be like that. I don't think so. And even if, then you're appealing to slaves. Why would you care what slaves think about you? Why would you care what somebody in the gym thinks about you? Any of those people.
While listening to our bodies. That said, we do need to carefully consider training in the context of lifestyle. We can't view training as this special bubble that exists outside of reality. Your ability to recover and your physicality will be hugely impacted by what you do outside of the gym, and vice versa. If you're not a professional powerlifter or a bodybuilder, then your performance in the gym shouldn't be your primary measure of health and fitness. The main point I want to drive home here is that a single day of...
Alright, he says health and fitness. It has to be made clear that there are no health benefits to working out, exercising at all. And I don't mean there's no health benefits, but there really are a few. No, there's zero health benefits to working out or doing any kind of sports, anything like that. I understand that a lot of people have been brainwashed by the media nowadays to believe that it's somehow healthy for you. They can't put it into words, but they blindly believe it. But you gotta understand that when your biceps grows, for example, it is your body adapting to the stress, and that's why it's getting bigger, but there's of course no health benefit. You may believe that you somehow look better, and that's also delusional, but that's about it. As far as your health goes, you're always only decreasing your lifespan when you work out. Always. Every workout, exercise, any kind of sports that you do, football, running, going to the gym, it only decreases your lifespan and causes stress for your body. That's it. I understand that you're stupid and brainwashed, but there literally are no health benefits to any of it.
Sitting, of being entirely sedentary, is extremely bad for you. And if your training, if your coach is encouraging this, then you might want to consider rebalancing.
Alright, now he said that living a sedentary lifestyle essentially is unhealthy for you. Of course, he's not going to give any reasoning, because he has been brainwashed to move and do something and to live a stressful life, and that's basically all that he knows. As I've said many times before, if you want to know how to be actually healthy, then never step out of your comfort zone. If you will stay in your comfort zone your whole life and live a sedentary lifestyle whenever you want to, not that you should sit around and lay around all day, because your hormones alone are gonna make you want to do stuff, but don't force yourself to do something. Only listen to your body. If you would listen to your body all of your life, then you would know exactly how you're supposed to live, and it would be sedentary for the most part, but you would enjoy it.
Some things. It sends whole muscle groups to sleep, it creates tightness and stiffness, it makes you sluggish and lethargic, it slows down your metabolism and your heart rate. We shouldn't avoid
sluggish and lethargic. Okay, and people who go to the gym and sleep 12 hours a day, oh, they have all the energy. Guess what? If you don't work out, then you're gonna sleep a lot less. And I'm talking about 6 hours instead of 12. Yeah, that's what actually happens when you have energy and when you're full of life, when you're living a sedentary lifestyle. And by the way, by sedentary, I don't mean literally just sitting around. Sedentary can mean small movements, and walking around really also should be counted to it, because that's normal. Humans simply move and walk around, but I certainly don't lift man-made weights and jump around on the pavement and whatever the slave is doing. It's just so delusional what he's talking about.
Any form of training or exercise between sessions because we're afraid it's going to take away from our next workout. Because doesn't that entirely miss the point? Don't live to work out. Work out to live.
Work out to live. Okay, so if you work out, then you're gonna live, but working out kills you quite literally. That's been proven in tons of studies. And working out shortens your lifespan. So if you work out to live, you're gonna live a shorter life. Why would you do that? Only if you're depressed. If you're a happy human being, then you would try to live a long life. You're not making any sense, man.
So if you found this video useful and interesting, guys, if you did, then please leave a like and share it around. That would help me out immensely. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Where do you draw that line between training and just being more active, and how regularly do you take rest days? What do you view as a rest day? If you like this approach to training...
I also like the fake smile that he puts on throughout the whole video, even though he just wants to lay down and sleep because he's so tired from his stressful lifestyle.
...that looks at overall performance, not just numbers on lifts or the way you're looking, then you might enjoy my ebook and training program, Super Functional Training 2.0, the Protein Performance System. That's
definitely getting that in it.
Training routine and over 2 hours of video tutorial showing you how to do all of the moves. Yeah, check it out, link in the description if that sounds interesting. Either way, thank you so much for watching this one, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This video was lovely, innit? Thanks for sharing, mate. Of course, everything that he said goes against what our body actually tells us is healthy. This video was not about health. He's essentially teaching you how to slowly kill yourself. People who live like this are essentially just very depressed deep down and really don't enjoy life and don't want to live. And they are chasing something. This guy, he believes that when he follows these man-made rules to life, he's gonna achieve whatever it is he's looking for. No, man, what you gotta do firstly is move out of the UK, get a lot of sunlight, start hunting, drinking the blood of the animals, eating raw animal organs, liver. You're going to start feeling euphoric. And of course, you should exercise if your body really wants to, as in you're really full of testosterone and you want to do something. You could probably satisfy these needs by hunting anyway, but okay, then go and lift some weights or whatever when you really want to, when your hormones are really telling you, but don't force yourself like this every day. Ugh. Really, it's just funny. Thanks for watching.